Hello and welcome. I am Stu Friedman, and I'm very pleased to welcome to our conversation today Sindhu Srivastava, who is an alum of the Total Leadership class. She took this course in 2021 during COVID times when we were all Zoom all the time. And this conversation is part of our series of conversations with alumni of our course, just catching up and seeing what you're up to these days and how the work that we did together back when we were in the classroom or on the Zoom room, how it's influencing your work and life these days. Welcome, Sindhu.
Yes, thank you, Stu, for having me on this podcast, on this video. And really happy to be here, really happy to be here. And your class changed my life. So I'm ready for the whole world to hear about this.
All right. Well, Sindhu is an Inc. 5000 CEO, and she's now building an AI platform to complement that. She's also the mother of two coming to us from Silicon Valley. So, Sindhu, what's happening?
Like so much has changed since your class. So when I took your class, I was still a director of analytics at GitLab, working on the GitLab IPO, right? Like GitLab was going to go IPO at the end of 2021, and I was still in your class working on all of the analytics. And now I'm an Inc. 5000 CEO. I acquired a company using entrepreneurship through acquisition. I've scaled it to become an Inc. 5000 company, fastest growing companies. And this is not out yet, but I'm going to announce it on your podcast. We've also become an Inc. 2025 best workplace. So somehow your class has helped me figure out how not only to build one of the fastest growing companies in the US, but also how to make it a best workplace. So
Wow. Could
yes,
you
thank
can
you.
you say another sentence or two as to how you think the work that we did together has influenced the way your workplace has evolved?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Stu, I want to rewind a little bit to my upbringing.
Please.
I was born in small town India. And in small town India, at least in my community, feelings were a luxury. So you weren't
Mm.
taught to feel. You were, if in fact, if you felt and if you felt sadness or you felt like crying or you felt anger, at least as a girl, I was taught that I needed to tone it down. I
Mm.
needed to tone it down. I need to hide it. I need to actually put up a front that is different from whatever I was feeling inside. Your class was the first time that I really understood that my feelings were important. Like I was important, like when you have, your first four circles. It was the first time I really looked at myself and I'm like, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about myself? How do I feel about my work? How do I feel about my family? How do I feel about my community? And especially me as an engineer with like I went to IIT Madras. So with a very rigorous engineering training, I
Hmm.
never thought in that way. Like I didn't even think it was important. In fact, like my other engineer friends would look at your class and say, "Hey, there's your fluff course." But like to me, this was like
Fluff
gold.
course?
Yes.
I've never ever heard that before. I can't believe you heard that from some of your classmates.
Really, really, are
Just
you
sorry to
joking?
interrupt. Please continue.
Are you joking?
Of
Like really,
course.
all the quants, I mean, all the
I
quantitative
know.
people are like,
I've heard it a
whatever.
million times. Please. Please continue.
So anyway, so your class was the first time I was like, oh, it's actually important, like how I feel. And the
Mm.
double whammy was that I actually had an executive coach at the same time as your class.
Right.
And she was able to help me also connect to the fact that I'd be a better mom if I paid more attention in your class. So, yes. And the way I've been able to bring that to work is
Yes.
that I've actually discovered that people work better when they're in touch with themselves
Mm.
because they're not coming to work with a whole bunch of fear. They're, in fact, coming to work literally to be like, where's my playground? Let me go find like the next great thing to do and let me like kick some ass. And today, I run We Crush events, an Inc. 5000 company with literally 17 women on our payroll and one man. Right? And these 17 women are coming literally with their wholeheartedness, thanks to everything you taught us, because like everything is important to us. Like they're important, the families are important, the work is important, the community is important.
Mm.
And we actually make it a huge priority at our company to honor who we are and the whole of who we are.
How do you do
That made
that?
us. Sorry?
How do you do that? Can you give an example of how you do that?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like, for example, I'll give you one example. So, this is actually my favorite example. So, Amanda is just got promoted to be our East Coast regional manager. When Amanda first interviewed for her role, she was interviewing for a corporate event manager role, and she's literally at the end of her interview, she goes, "Sindhu, I'm pregnant." And I'm like, okay, like that's very important. Like, okay, tell me more. And she was like, I understand if you don't want to offer me the job because I'm pregnant. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you can't do the work, doesn't mean you can't set yourself up really well, even though we're a small company, to set us up really well so that we can actually like give you a fantastic maternity leave and come back. So here I was able to take an employee who was not yet working for us to really honor herself and coach her. Like literally, Amanda basically joined us, I think, at the end of Q1. So she only had Q2 goals, and she crushed her Q2 goals in 6 weeks before going on her maternity leave.
Hmm.
And she lives in the state of Virginia. So we were actually able to contribute to her entire maternity leave and really help her family have a fantastic time with the baby. And we paid for it because she like and half of it was funded by her own amazing performance. And then she came back and then she got promoted to a regional manager because all the work that she did to help set us up actually found us this whale client that basically set us up for the rest of the year, right?
Wow.
So, I mean, so people like forget that when you allow people to be themselves and
Mm.
support themselves, especially amazing, talented people, that's what they can do. And then here was the kicker, right? So Amanda was like not just saying, "Oh, I found this whale client; it should come to me." She was actually happy to give that whale client to a team member, right?
Mm.
So literally, all we work on a commission basis, and this whale client was generating tons of commissions, and she was happy to contribute it to a team member, which again like helps our workplace, helps the community so much because it's not just her success, and she benefited because she got promoted. So it's
Mm.
almost like win 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 like everywhere, and that's what we were able to set up. And that's one example of what we do as a company. I'll give you a second example as well.
Okay.
So we actually put up an incentive trip. We're a corporate events company that's the biggest company I have. I told my team that if they hit this really aggressive goal, they get to go to the Amalfi Coast. Can you imagine a small business saying Italy is on the plan, right? So they smashed the
No,
goal.
I can't imagine that really, but please continue.
No, they smashed the goal. They went to the Amalfi Coast. And for many of our team members, it was their first time ever stepping foot out of the United States.
Mm.
So it's all
Wow.
about like literally like creating experiences that people love. And can you imagine?
I could see that as a kind of community impact in the sense that you're expanding the international horizons of people here in America to be able to see a broader perspective on the world, which makes them more capable as citizens, because of
Yes, not
their,
only that, and we contributed to the economy of Sorrento,
ah,
right? Like literally, we went there. American dollars translate really well in Italy because,
mhm,
again, like Italians will tell you that they're struggling. Like everyday Italians, especially in
yeah,
in the event sector. I mean, they don't have a grand life. And the fact that we were able to take, very significant six-figure dollars and actually invest it into Italy was meaningful, right? Like this was an American company like going and showing love all around the world to communities that
mm,
needed the money. So for me, like that's the way we actually like help our communities grow. And I
mhm,
can tell you, right? Like I mean, and also coming back to Amanda's example, there
yeah,
is a huge community effect because imagine Amanda's friends who are actually like seeing her enjoy a maternity leave, get promoted right after the maternity leave. Like many of them have actually asked to work for us. And to me, that's contributing dreams to literally like women who might not see themselves as deserving of them. And I'm like, no, like you're precious, you deserve them. And that's my entire hope, which is that
so,
if you can see, yes.
well, finish your thought, please.
Yes. So that's my entire hope. If you can see a little girl from a small town in India become a Silicon Valley CEO, build and scale a company as a mother of two little girls, like anything is possible, right? Like it's just like expand your horizons and like go shatter some glass ceilings.
So Amanda's friends, they're changed by the example of what she has experienced in We Crush events.
That is exact, and not just Amanda's friends. Amanda was a big part of my Inc. 5000 keynote delivery.
Hmm.
Because one of my biggest ambitions was to show that if you actually support women through their maternity, you literally like double your economy almost, right? Because not just like, not just more women come into the workforce, but like women are supremely talented. So imagine if you were like doubling the number of talented CEOs in the world just by including women,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's what's possible, right? Like that's literally what's possible. And the thing is that right now the companies based on a feminine energy are not getting created because of the lack of an infrastructure and support system for women. So it's almost like, okay, let me like go put my neck out, create the support and the infrastructure. And if people see that, then essentially an entire community is going to come by. And this also has led me to found a nonprofit called Girls Who CEO. 10% of Fortune 500 are women. Fortune 500 CEOs are women.
Yes.
Guess how many are women of color? Three, right? And if you think about like, what if like you double the number of Fortune 500 CEOs, right? Can you imagine the success of that? Just because now you'd have like more feminine companies come into the world.
So there's a lot of opportunity in that market, isn't there?
There is a ton of opportunity. It's like, why would you ignore like such huge economic potential? Just look
Yeah.
at like what we did with We Crush events, right?
So what is next for you and We Crush events?
Okay, so we're building an AI platform called WeCrush AI, and the first product of WeCrush AI is called Connections. So what we're going to do is we're going to help companies connect better with their customers, employees, shareholders, and partners on the hypothesis, or actually on the certainty, that people don't buy because the product is great. People buy from people they like. And as you connect better as people, the number of your sales is going to go up, your revenue is going to go up, right? So we're literally in the business of connecting people, and we're going to use large language models to figure out where the disconnects are. And we're going to teach the entire world how to connect better with each other from a place of authenticity.
How are you going to do that?
Large language models, like imagine a company, like already, like if you're working on your company laptop, your company can pretty much read your email, your Slack, whatever. But right now imagine it was gleaning insights on what frustrates you about your daily job. Like maybe there's a ton of confusion about what your role is, maybe there's a ton of
Hmm.
confusion about what the product is or what the roadmap is. And if the company had insights about it, and the same thing, the company can also look at like what customer feedback is, whether it's on what customers are saying on social platforms, community platforms, on their Zoom calls with the sales reps. If it was listening to all of that, it could like figure out the disconnection points between a
Hmm.
customer and the
Hmm.
company. And then now you're able to have gatherings or events, or even if they're virtual, in person, I don't care, but you're able to have gatherings that are much more meaningful because now you have the shared vision and purpose of building something together in a way that solves both your frustrations.
Wow. Well, we're going to have to check in again before too long to hear how all of that is progressing. But for now, final thought. What's what would you like to share with your fellow Wharton Total Leadership alumni? What's a word or a message you'd like to put out there for their reaction and further ideas and conversation?
This is what I really, really want to put out, right? I mean, Wharton is a quant school. We all know that. We can do math till our eyes turn blue. Like, we all know that. However, it's almost like using only half our brain. What if the other half of the brain that really feels and understands and, not judges right or wrong, but really truly understands like the complexity of human relationships, if that got turned on, the two together can be magic, right? Like, I truly believe that many Wharton alumni who take your class can go on to build companies that are not just amazing economic successes, but are amazing workplaces as well.
Well, that's a powerful message, Sindhu. really grateful to you for taking a few minutes to chat with me and very much look forward to seeing what comes next for you and
Can I
your
just say billion
remarkable
dollar
enterprise.
status, Steve? Billion dollar status. We're building a billion dollar company. And then, yes, that's what we're going for. So I'm just going to put it out there.
All right. All right.
Okay.
All the
All
best to
right.
you, Sindhu. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Take care. Okay. Bye.